It is time for dinner at Wine Bar George. Here we are. We are at Wine Bar George. It is Christmas Eve dinner. I had a reservation. They've done some specials this month, or today I should say, for the holidays, and their Instagram page was touting them a few days beforehand. I had happened to change my reservation today before I got the notification, and I am very excited to see what we've got. I am very tired because I've been sweating and running around all day in the parks, but we are here. Found out that I'm gonna put my mask on because there are a lot of people that are doing stuff nearby me, and I feel bad that I'm not wearing my mask while they're here. So let's do this because it's no big deal for me to wear a mask until I'm eating. So I'm gonna get the Iberico ham as my appetizer. It's a small plate, and then I'm going to get hopefully the Chilean sea bass, and if not, we'll go with the filet. Both look beautiful, but the filet's over a risotto, which to me just kind of felt like it was going to be heavier, and I don't need to go heavy for the evening. If I can, I will try to take a picture of the menu, the lovely Christmas Day menu. So one screen will go there, and there we go. Those pictures will go right here. Okay, so in terms of Wine Bar George, so I'm upstairs. They did have downstairs, they did have outside, they did have upstairs outside. They do have additional rooms, and obviously you can see behind me there's a dining room. There are people sitting on the low end of the bar down there, which is where I was supposed to be originally, but that's okay. And I'm at the other end of the bar. So there's 3 seats here that are all mine will do it. I did take the closest. Unfortunately, I'm realizing I'm over by the station where everybody's working, so I may slide over one just for their sake, so they don't have to worry about me being in their space or being maskless in their space, because that's just not fair to them. They are using the Saint Germain bottle thingies as their wine, their water dispensers. Those look like they're water carafes with Saint Germain. So it's a beautiful bar. They have Louis the 14th. Is it Louis the 14th or Louis the 15th? The brandy? Oh my God. They've got Louis the 15th. I'll have to ask what those other 2 bottles are over there, because they all have their own glasses. Holy crap, I wish I could afford a glass of that. Speaking of which, if you have not done so already, please remember to like these videos and hit the subscribe button. That will allow you to know when more of my content is being published, and the more people who subscribe, the better I'm visible to everybody else, to be able to share what I know and what I can do and how I can help you. Comment down below if you've been to Wine Bar George, or even more importantly, what's your favorite wine? Because I love drinking wine. I love sharing wine. I love having parties where people come over and drink wine. So I would like to see what you guys like for wine. That would be fabulous. Okay, so I have ordered wine. They recommended Rioja to go with the Iberico, so we're going to see what that's like. It's going to be a little more, it's got more minerality, more earthiness. I mean, and I appreciate a Chateau de Mustapha or wines like that, but I do tend to prefer fruit forward. When I recommended fruit forward, he recommended a Cabernet Sauvignon with a blend of Shiraz, and I love Shiraz, but the Cabernet Sauvignon often hurts my tongue, so I try to avoid those generally. So we're going to see what they recommend and try that. I told you just give me the tiniest taste so I can make sure that it's going to work for me, so I'm not going to have any issues with it, and then we'll go from there. But I'm going to have Iberico, and I'm happy about that because I didn't have that when I was at Vallejo the last time. And yeah, I'm excited. All right, guys, it's time to try this wine. So, as I said, it's a Rioja. I'm going to show you the bottle. This is what we were looking at. Okay, now we're going to see if you like it. So, okay, hold on. This might be really nice. Definitely got the minerality, definitely got the burn to it. I feel it, but this is going to be good. I'm going to go with this. Yum. Okay, so the first one, as I said, was Louis the 14th. The next one is Tennessee Richard.
And then the last one is called Heavy Diamond. 90-year, 50 or 60 year, expensive. It's the good stuff. I'm gonna stick with my wine.
So while we're sitting here waiting for our food, I just thought I'd show you. And that is the Hennessy Richard. That's the Heavy Diamonds.
Got the lights behind my head. Hopefully. Okay, there we go. I've got my wine. Breathing is fine for wine, so I'm letting it sit. I'm not spinning it or anything yet, but I want to wait till the appetizer gets here so I can have it all together. Because the sea bass is probably going to need to have something different. This will not be a cheap dinner. I am expecting, I didn't even look at the price of the wine, but I'm guessing close to $20 for a glass. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but we'll find out. So 2 of those plus the sea bass is 36. The Iberico I think is close to 20. So this is $100 just for me. But it is Christmas. It is Disney. Okay, so I've gotten my appetizer, which is the Iberico, and I've taken pictures, and they will go in right here. In fact, I did one with the wine, which will go right here. Okay. So it's got what looks like finely chopped Brussels sprouts, is my guess, in a red wine reduction, and it smells lovely. It's got sort of a vinegary smell to it from, I believe, the dressing on the meat. Let's try it. Okay, the meat is warm. Oh my god. Okay. That is tasty. It is the chopped up veggies on top, and it smells like Brussels sprouts. It's sweet and spicy. It's like a sweet vinegar. The meat is warm, and I am now curious as to how this will taste with the wine. Oh wow. Okay. As the wine sat there, it absolutely got more full-bodied, more fruit. We'll try it once more, the 2 together. Some of the minerality is mild, made more mild. You get a lot more of the smell of the fruit. Like I said, let it sit and open for quite a while. Because what is it? It's almost 9 o'clock now. So, very tasty. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's what the sweet is. Let's see what this is. Okay, so the Brussels sprouts is not sweet on its own. That reduction on the plate, the port wine, is very tasty, or a berry reduction possible. That is sweet. And then the radishes with the Brussels sprouts, that's more vinegary savory. But the 3 together, oh so good. Oh so good. Even more. That piece was a little fatty too. Not super fatty because I don't like it super fatty, but it's got a little more of that flavor. Yeah, those work together. Because I will forget this if I don't tell you now. The berry or port that I thought it was a berry mostardo, and the Brussels sprouts and radish salad has a shallot and what vinaigrette? Bacon and shallot. Bacon and shallot vinaigrette. So that's where I'm getting the saltiness from, and then the blueberries is what I'm getting the sweet from. Tasty. Very tasty. That did not suck. That did not suck at all. In fact, I'm trying not to lick the plate. That did not suck. So I still have more wine, and I probably need to switch to something lighter for the sea bass, because the sea bass is probably a lighter rosé or something like that. We'll see what works. But
I'm having fun figuring out the bar. So below the Louis XIV, you've got your bourbons and your ryes.
Like Elijah Craig is a bourbon. There's a couple of ones there. Below that is your tequila shelf. Tequila Mockingbird or something of that. And of course you've got like the cheaper Captain Morgan's rum. Oh, you've got an account 12, so it's not really cheap, but that's kind of what he's been using, and some mixers. Then in the middle section, you've got the scotches and the things that drink like scotches. Like there's a Japanese whiskey. Oh, my sea bass is coming. So we've gotten our Chilean sea bass. I will put the picture in right here. I'm finishing up the red wine, and I have already asked our Rivers, who is our bartender, what the recommendation would be for pairing on this. He's in the middle of a crunch, so I'm letting him do his thing. It smells very good. I see tiny pieces of, I think, cauliflower. Very aromatic, but not in an expected way. But I'm finishing the red, which was stunning. Really, really stunning. And it's open, and while it is minerally, it's not burny, and it's not heavy. It's very light. Ooh, it's smooth, light, festive. Well, other people say smooth. Oh, smooth. No, this is not. This is fabulous. So, here we go. I really enjoyed it. That was quite lovely. So I'm going to set that there. I'm going to drink some water. Dessert would be something different as well. Now, if I remember correctly, the dessert chocolate pairing was what I got the last time. I pair things differently than the way they did, and I'd be curious to see what they do, but I did not agree with their pairing in terms of the chocolate. You guys are sideways. I'm not really that drunk, really, honest to God. Of course, soul fights do this to me when you sing a bright face. So I am going, because I don't want to wait too much longer, so you can see that. So it's flaked off very, very well, very light. It's buttery. It's buttery. It's got a crisp on the top. Oh my God. And it's not salty. I am so used to things being so over-salted that my brain went, oh, it's blanched. No, it's not. Wow. Wow. I did take a picture with the regular. Hold on, I want to make sure I did it with this. Yeah, I got a good picture of it. So it's going in right here if I haven't already done it. Or I will just put some funny caption right here. Why not? This is lovely. Alright, so I'm now going to take it. There's a liquid below. So I'm going to kind of roll it in soft liquid. Sauce is really just kind of runny. Not impressed with me. We'll try the charred veggie now. The char is nice. You know, the char. Got a little bit of burn. Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Yes.
We have
Chardonnay. Okay. How is it very oaky? Okay, because I'm okay. They are pouring me a Chardonnay. You know how much I like my Chardonnay, so we're gonna give it a try.
So this is a fruit mostly sourced from Minnesota, which is known for its richness and power, but also the cleanness and minerality that cleans that power.
Okay.
This is what we see.
I was gonna say, because normally I don't like Chardonnay, so there are very few I've tried where they don't oak barrel them, and that's where it works. So let me give it a try here.
You should drink more Burgundy as far as white if you're not a huge fan of oak, because while they do oak their wines, the richness is all balanced.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. That's nice. Yeah. And I usually hate Chardonnay, and there you go. Trust the people who run the bar and the wine place, because they do wine, because that's their job, and you're flirty. There we go. Thank you very much. Perfetto. Oh, grazie. Why am I going into Italian? Because I know me, because I do Italian. Alright, so we're going to go back to the photos. I don't do Italian. Well, I mean, if the right one came along. Not a family-friendly vlog. This is the wine. I'm trying not to touch, but I want to look at the back as well. Pictures came out. They will go in right here. And that's the wine we're drinking. It's It's still got the minerality, so it's not as sweet as a Pinot Grigio or something to that effect. But it's got the lightness of one of those, if that makes sense. So we're gonna take a bigger chunk of the fish because I will be honest, the fish is not flaking as much as I expected it to. So I am a little concerned about the hook. Like I'm struggling to cut it. The flavor is amazing, but I am a little worried about the cook. I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see where those go together. So I'm gonna start eating some veggies. The waiter stepped away for a moment, so I'm gonna ask him to come when he comes back, and I'll kind of eat around. Yeah, that was the number. I don't know if it's cauliflower or broccoli or both in the sauce. That was yummy. So I did check with the chef, or they checked with the chef, and he said it's a firmer cut. As long as it's not opaque in the center, then that's correct. Because I'm fine with it not being what I expected, but I just want to make sure it's the correct cut. And Chilean sea bass, I don't have a whole lot. So, I mean, I've had it before, a lot of restaurants carry it, but as long as it's safe and healthy and it's the right cut, that's all I'm looking for. So, the fluid at the bottom, I can't call it a sauce because it is not, it's like thick, but it's got this buttery consistency. It's lovely. There's a black sea salt on the top of it, which is really lovely. And Brussels sprouts in sections, a little bit of tiny pieces of potato, and that broccoli cauliflower thing. And the flavor is amazing. But it is definitely a different chew than I expected, but it's good. And as long as I know it's safe and I'm fine, wonderful. The wine is tempting, I know, but it's really good. I did not think I would drink a Chardonnay, but it is not over at all. I mean, there might be, but it doesn't feel like burny, harsh. It really does kind of, almost like a Viognier. I think that's more what I'm thinking. Grapefruity. Hold on, look at the fruits. Not a ton of fruit. Soured grapefruit. Does that make sense? It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. So this is lovely. Getting more of the fluid onto my dish because it makes it more flavorful. And it fell off my fork. I'm going to enjoy my meal. I'll talk to y'all soon. So I keep looking up at them. I love sitting at the bar. There's like people at the far end, a couple at the far end of me. But I love sitting at the bar because you can have conversations with the bartender. You learn a lot more about, if you are a drinker, that stuff, or the food, or the ambiance, or whatever. It makes a better connection, especially if you're a solo person like me and you're social. You know, there are times I'm fine sitting and being between my space by myself. Sometimes it's nice to have a connection. So I do like the bar. And I keep looking up at the Louis XIV and the Hennessy. I said it earlier, I don't remember it. I'm on my second glass of wine, plus I had the cocktail before I got here, so I'm drinking a lot more water. And then the heavy diamonds. And, well, you know, just having fun conversation. Okay, this is a strange, when you're done, let me know. I was going to say, is it possible to just wrap up this tiny little bit?
I get the little honey bar.
That would be perfect, yeah. It's a little more than I want to do right now. So I'm going to get a little box. There's not much. So good. Like I said, very little left. But enough for me to go, I hit that limit, and I don't want to be uncomfortable. Yeah, tremendous food, extraordinary flavor. In fact, in an hour and a half from now, I might want it, and I will probably want to eat it, just because I waited for it to get the wine to match it, and then I waited to confirm it was safe, so it ended up being a lot colder than I probably should have eaten it at. Again, matter of timing, so it was not the way they served it, it was my delay. But the flavors were lovely, and I have a feeling if I give it a little bit of a nuke, I hate to do that, but if I do, yeah, amazing. So I'm gonna ask them if they have for dessert. I believe the only thing that's gluten-free is chocolate pairings. I don't think I want that much gluten. And I've had it, oh, thank you so much. I'm getting more water, because water is good. Water is my friend. But I keep looking up at the assorted, oh dear God, expensive brandies, and they all have their own glasses. Like this one has the crystal kind of, like when you think of traditional crystal with those the kind of cuts in the crystal. That's there with the Louis XIV. And then the glass that's over by the Hennessy is smooth and curved, and it's got this curved base to it, like kind of a smooth curved base. And then the heavy diamond is more of a, it's got a much more curved bottle, but it's a straight line. And my guess is those glasses are specifically made for those, but it's really cool to look at. You know, and I've got traditionally like the 60s champagne glasses, you know, those wide ones. I've seen egg white cocktails and drinks like that are really good. So they've got those, and then you've got your red wines and your white wines. I love the difference in the glass. I love the difference in, you know, like the red wine you saw was a wider glass, and then I've got a white wine glass for this. This Chardonnay is exceptional. Really, truly exceptional. Now, like I said, in the normal world, I would want to try to do a dessert here. I have had the chocolate pairing before. I did not do it on camera, but I have done it before. And like I said, I disagreed with them on the pairing, so I would want to know what they balanced it, because I decided I needed to go in a different direction. And I don't know, like, they give you a piece of white chocolate, a piece of milk chocolate, and a piece of dark chocolate, and then they give you smaller pours of 3 different dessert wines that go with those. And I remember the waiter who served us out there, so we were in the room over past the bathroom this time. Yeah, and I disagreed. And my guess is that I would continue to disagree, because I don't think he would be offering pairings any different than anybody else here. I am dark chocolate with tawny port. That's my weakness. Dark chocolate with tawny port. You heard it first here. The more words in front of tawny, the better. But there's something about the warmth of a tawny port, and it's just that change in the flavor versus ruby versus vintage, etc. With the dark chocolate, it's just exceptional. And I used to do something pre-COVID called wine night. And wine night at my house, and if you guys ever want to try this, I would love to hear if you ever try something like this, because it makes me so happy. We call it wine night. It was a way for us to learn about wine and to have good times with friends, but not be stupid about it. Okay. Whoever you're inviting to the event, wine night. The rule is everyone brings a bottle of wine. Everyone brings food to share. Finger foods are generally best. You could do it as a sit-down meal, though, and everyone brings a portion of the meal. I've done that too. But it's all about companionship and friendship and trying new wines. So on some of my parties, I would have like 20 people come, and each person would bring a bottle of wine. If it's a couple, you know, a couple brings 1 bottle, but you would have 12, 13, or more wines, and you would line them up. And I choose the lineup, I admit it. Now, some people would line the wines up, like I have a friend who recently passed away, and I was told of a story where he would line the wines up from the worst to the best. so that those who lasted out the end of the night, they got to try the good stuff, and everyone had to drink the garbage. For me, I do it in the order it actually arrived. So if you were first, it could be the best wine of the night, but it might be bottle number 2 out of 12. And then if we ran low, I would start adding my own bottles to the collection, because I had a pretty decent collection for a while. And everyone brings food, because as much as I love wine, I'm not an idiot. You want to put food in there, you want to get starches to soak stuff up, or food itself, so your body is not killing itself. I also always had water nearby. Now you could try this much wine. You could have this much of everything, and by the end of the night it would equate to 1 glass of wine. Or you could have this much wine, and find your favorite and guzzle it down. You know, preferably let everyone try all the wines. But that was my thing. And it's a great opportunity if you ever try something like this for you to experience different wines, because everyone's going to bring stuff. Now, me personally, I am a bit of a wine snob, I admit it. And I have no pink wine. Though I have amended that to say salmon-colored wine is okay, but pink is not. So white Zinfandel is pink, but a true rosé is salmon-colored. So I will allow a good quality rosé, a good French rosé, but you are not allowed to bring white Zinfandel into my house. I am a snob, I admit it. I started on white Zinfandel and then have moved on and progressed my palate. And there is something so cloying about white Zinfandel and those types of wines for me. Someone once brought a white Merlot to one of my parties. I didn't say anything, and then tried it. I was being fair, I tried it. It tasted like soap. I'm not kidding you, it was garbage. That went down the drain without the person knowing. So yeah, so it's about, but I prefer full-bodied red. That's my weakness. Full fruit, full-bodied red, and a good quality white. Chardonnays are not my thing, although I will say this Burgundy Chardonnay that I've been given tonight is extraordinary. And I like a good Pinot Grigio, a good Sauvignon Blanc, a Viognier. Viognier makes me happy. So all of those wonderful wines. I noticed that my bartender did check with me, like glance at me to say, what do you want next? So I'm going to stop rambling, because wine, and I will talk to you more about this later. So, just check with the bartender, Rivers, and he's wonderful, by the way. Incredibly informative, great advice. You know, he's keeping incredibly busy. He's got a lot going on, but he has stopped, and if I ask a question or I have something, he's always been able to answer it. He's always been, you know, able to address anything I have, or willing, I should say, even more so, to address what I've been asking about. I did double check about the desserts, and he was like, I'll double check about the cheesecake. I'm like, crust, probably not. The only dessert that you can have if you're gluten-free is a wine pairing with chocolate. And while that's lovely, I did it the last time I was here. And like I said earlier, I disagreed with the pairings. Tawny port with dark chocolate, that's my win. I'm going to say a white chocolate with a raspberry, like a Rosa Regale, sparkling red, white, or a very sweet, I mean, it's such a sweet white on its own, but something like that would work. And milk chocolate, something warm. I mean, the tawny would work with it, but I would still go a little more full in flavor. Whereas the tawny has almost a nuttiness, almost a kind of a pullback flavor. These are my preferences. You do not have to agree with me. Wow, this has become the infamous Michelle Talks About Wine dining review. So I am going to sit back and finish and enjoy my white wine, because I'm not wasting that. It's beautiful. And I usually, like I said, I don't normally like Chardonnays, but unoaked Chardonnays, and this is lovely. This is lovely. But they're gonna, I can just double checking about the desserts, but I'm pretty sure that the chocolate is the only thing I've got left. So I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna relax, and maybe pay my bill next. We'll see.
Too close to these people. They are doing the real absinthe thing. So he's crushed up sugar, and he's pouring the absinthe over. This is so cool. These are the people at the other side of the bar. We're all the cool people, because we sat at the bar. And it gets a little bit cloudy. Is it okay? I'm gonna step over here. May I put you on the vlog? Okay. I would like your opinion of what you think of your absinthe.
Very delicious.
Okay.
It's a strong anise flavor, as usual. It happens to be this one, which is from Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky.
Oh, you were an absinthe, a very heavy absinthe drinker?
I wouldn't say a heavy absinthe drinker, but
you really like them?
Yeah, I have tried several ones. I mean,
heavy drinker.
Yeah.
No, not a heavy drinker, an absinthe aficionado.
Yeah. You know, whether or not you have the traditional ones that like turn green and all of that, or this one is actually a clear one, but it tastes, it's very, very flavorful and very good. It has a nice palate.
Nice.
I like this. First time I've tried this one, but I like it a lot.
Very cool. I went to Amsterdam once and we couldn't go to the absinthe bar, it wasn't open, but my one friend was like, I need to find one of the real ones, one of the ones with wormwood. I need to find one. And I'm like, I'm afraid of the ones with like really pure wormwood. You're gonna hallucinate.
Now in the States, they are allowing a certain percentage of wormwood.
Really?
In the States, yeah.
Wow.
So you can get like little bits, but I don't know if this actually says it.
Does it?
It doesn't say.
Okay. I may look, and I got the brand, so I may look it up online. I'm just curious. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing the experience.
No problem.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you very much.
That was lovely. Learning a little bit about absinthe. Tigger, that was for you. We are just about done our meal. This has been an amazing meal, guys. I'm just going to finish up my wine. Like I said, I didn't do dessert, but I'm going to have a cupcake in my room or something else wonderful. It is 10:30. My reservation, well, 10:20. My reservation was at 8:30. I've actually probably been here more than 2 hours. But that's what the magic of this place is. And I don't mean Disney, well, it is Disney magic, but it's the magic of camaraderie, the magic of connection. Wine Bar George, really good. Top of the line food. Now the sea bass I had tonight is not always on the menu. This was a Christmas special. It was the sea bass and there was the filet mignon. That was an option. And then they had a specialty cheesecake they were bringing on. Lovely, wonderful, absolutely recommend it. Hope you guys can try this place. If you can't do it during COVID, because who knows how long that's going to last when it's done, run, do not walk. If you want to learn about wine, you want to have a great experience, this is a great place to go, guys. Absolutely recommend it. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've learned something, if you were ready to hit Wine Bar George because of this, please like the video, hit that thumbs up. That gives me a like to the video. If you really hate what I said, hit the thumbs down. Hey, you're still helping me when you do that. But I prefer the likes. It's my ego. Put a comment in here. What is your favorite wine? What grape do you like? Tempranillo, Pinot Grigio, Valpolicella, Abruzzo. What is your favorite wine? Merlot. I want to hear what it is. Pop it in the comments below, because that'll make me happy. I love learning about wines and people's preferences. Subscribe to this channel. I do have a special thread that's going to be dining reviews, but I do a lot of visiting Disney and Universal and talking about the food and talking about the experiences, and I would love to have you join me on this trip. It's what makes everything special, and it's what makes visiting here so important. And I don't have a tagline. Singing hey ho, a maiden's life, 1, 2, 3. Hey ho, a maiden's life, won't you drink with me?